everybody, and welcome to my first Monster Hunter video in well over a year. You may remember I made a video on a Blast Switch Axe set, which I use for breaking parts and in generally enjoying the game. Well, guess what? BitMoreDave fans, I'm back. Yes, we are playing games once again, and indeed we are playing Monster Hunter Iceborne. And I thought, well, I'd do a little tutorial on my new updated Blast Part Breaker Switch Axe set. So, let's get to it. See the set, love the set, be the set. This is designed for one thing and one thing only, and that is keeping you in the game long enough to break all the parts of a monster, pretty much. Cut the tail, break the head, whatever you need. And of course, it is using my favourite mechanic, Blast. First things first, Basil Heart, the Switch Axe Blast from the Beelzebub of stealth bombing bastard. Yeah, you know the guy. You need to get this Switch Axe, number one. That's your fully upgraded Switch Axe you're going to be using. Well, at least until we maybe unlock the Teostra one, anyway. Next thing, a minimum of Handicraft Charm 3 you're going to need as well. I run Cleanser Booster and Temporal Mantle to make sure that I keep myself free from any ailments. You're then going to need yourself a Beelzebub Stealth Bombing Helmet, number A, actually, in this scenario. This is going to give you Earplugs 2 and Blast Attack 2, as well as a 2 slot and a single slot. Then Acid Glavenus Male A, this is going to give you Handicraft level 2 and a level of Stamina Surge as well. Of course, you might be able to go for B. Wrath Braces A, this gives you the double Part Breaker skill. Very, very useful. Double slot, of course, as well, and a little bit of Windproof. Little bit of Windproof doesn't really help, but it can in some scenarios. Bracky B gives you 2 for the blast attack and a 4 and a 2 slot as well. And finishing off with the Kulu Greaves A, giving you the double critical eye and a single piece of item prolonger. And now we've moved over to the jewels. If I had better jewels, I might gem it out a bit differently, but I've gone for the Destroyer, the Vitality, the Critical Jewels, the Tenderizers, and of course the Experts. This manages to get rid of the minus affinity, gives you that full weakness exploit, and of course the Part Breaker in full. So we have level 5 Handicraft, level 4 Blast Attack, level 4 Critical Eye, full health boost, full weakness exploit, full Part Breaker, and level 2 earplugs, and the rest of it is, of course, from the remaining bits of armor. Now, this works really, really well for a farming set. You really want to farm some monsters, get as much as you possibly can. It works a treat. You get to cut stuff off monsters and break stuff on monsters constantly, ensuring you get the max amount of possible stuff from them. Now, I will update this once again, and I will actually properly update this once I've got a few more pieces to go with. But this is what I've been running with so far, and it's been helping me farm monsters like crazy. I've been getting those parts broken at all times, and it's working really, really well. The big plus of this set, as you can see, the amount of purple sharpness you get is absolutely incredible. It's just a beautiful thing. You don't have to worry about after 2 or 3 hits, or you have to worry about protective polish or anything that goes down there, and you've got the health to make sure you can stay in the monster's face, constantly hitting it, which is exactly what you want if you want to part break stuff. There is something you can do, which is in the gems, swap out the health for a few more critical eyes, and you can actually get up to full critical eye as well, which means you have more affinity. Of course, this works in tandem with a weakness exploit, giving you more percentages, etc, etc. And that does work really, really well. But I prefer having the health, simply because if you're in the monster's face constantly, then it means you can constantly get in there, hit them, make sure those parts break. The only downside I find really is that if you are facing a dragon or ice monster, you are a little bit weaker. But it's incredible against fire monsters, and of course it doesn't matter against water or thunder. And you do have a decent amount of defense. I haven't even unlocked the full capabilities of the defense of the armor yet, because I haven't got full endgame yet. I am just about getting there. Once I get the full endgame stuff, then we're going to switch this around, maybe use the Teostra axe, and maybe change out a few of the A's for B's in terms of the armor set. Try and get some focus in there as well, which should be able to help out. But the fact you get this amount of purple sharpness, it's just an absolutely incredible set, and it works so well. To give you an idea of how well this works, I'm going to show you from start until I cut off the tail of an Urigan in Master Rank how quickly you can indeed chop bits and pieces off a monster. So why Blast? Well, that's very simple. As you hit the monster, Blast will randomly, of course, build up on the monster and then eventually explode. And it will explode on a random part of it, which is really good. Now, it won't necessarily break anything, but it causes loads of damage to that part. So next time you do hit it, you're more likely to break it. And as you can see here, I managed to get a few bits of Blast off. I even managed to break 2 parts in this one scene. It's absolutely awesome. Now, this is what I consider to be a really strong mid-game set for breaking parts off monsters. And of course, that's the thing. When you'll be able to get to the end game, it will change up a little bit. Of course it will do. But for the mid-game, for what we've got with us here before we start facing all those Elder Dragons, I think this is probably the best set you can do if you want to farm monsters and get the parts off of them. Food for thought. And that's basically it, guys. That is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I might make another mix set next week. I do want to work on my dual blades, as you know, they're my favourite weapon. But until then, I'll see you there. Bye-bye.